Alrighty, folks, we got another new album review for you today on this sad day that we've lost Paul Di'Anno of Iron Maiden. And this one's kind of apropos. It's Legions of Doom, The Skull 3. The reason it's kind of apropos is because if you can see on there, it has the skull font, the band that Eric Wagner used to be in. He passed away in 2020, I believe. The Skull had put out 2 albums. So I believe all this material was going to be on the 3rd Skull album, as every song on here is co-written by Eric Wagner. And most of them are also with Lothar Keller, who was also in the Skull. And then Ron Holzner, who was also in the Skull, has writing credits on a couple of them. So, yeah, Lothar Keller is in this band. He's on guitar. Ron Holzner's in this band. He goes back with Eric all the way to the 2nd Trouble album. He was also in the Skull and Earth and Grave. It's kind of a super group. They have 2 singers, Scott Reagers, the original vocalist for St. Vitus, and then Karl Agell, most notably from Corrosion of Conformity. Both share vocal duties, singing alternate songs. There's 8 songs on here, 4 sung by Karl and 3 sung by Scott, and then 1 is actually sung by Eric Wagner himself. Henry Vasquez is on drums. He is the current St. Vitus drummer. And then there's the other guitarist's name is Scott Little, which I don't really know much about him. But like I said, this appears to have been all the songs that they were getting ready for the 3rd Skull album. I do not know why they didn't just decide to call themselves the Skull. Maybe a legal matter. But anyway, yes, their name is Legions of Doom. Cool little album cover there. Tiny band shot, but a good photo anyway. Not much going on inside. Lyrics. I think that's the only band photo there is. Not a whole lot going on there either. So yeah, it appears like this was supposed to be the 3rd Skull album. So they decided to call it the Skull 3. First song is called Beyond the Shadow of Doubt. Karl singing lead on that one. Starts off with a typical Crushing Sabbath riff and these war drums before it gets into Into the Void type riff. All Good Things is the next song. Karl again on vocals. Probably one of the catchiest Doom numbers you're ever gonna hear. The next song is called Lost Soul. Reagers comes in on that one. And as we expect, it has a very St. Vitus feel. Smoking guitar solo on here. The guitar playing on here is good. I think Lothar Keller does most of the lead guitar work, because his guitar playing sound, it's very typical of the Trouble, the Skull type playing. The Voice of Reason has Reagers on vocals again. This is a typical Trouble Skull riff. And then it even has the Trouble type guitar harmonies in there. Between Darkness and Dawn has Karl back on vocals. It's got a slow intro before picking up. It's got some killer drum work. Henry Vasquez does great all over this album with his drum playing. It's got a very St. Vitus Candlemass type feel to that song. Insecticide has Karl on vocals again. It almost has a Stone Cold Crazy from Queen intro. Then it goes into this fast treble type riff. You get a dueling solo in there with Lothar, and like I said, he has the more classic treble skull sound to his guitar playing. And then Scott Little, I think he kind of has like a Scott Gorham type, Thin Lizzy type sound to his playing. The next song, Heaven, actually has Eric Wagner singing on it. It's very much in the vein of Lid, if you know that side project from Eric Wagner. The song is originally from High Diaz Volume 1, which was an independent release that Eric Wagner put out as a solo album. Many of those songs were reworked for the Skull, so I'm guessing this one was going to be reworked for it too. I don't know if this is the actual High Diaz track itself or if it was already re-recorded by Eric, and that's why they decided to add it on. Like I said, it is a very slow number. I think it would have been better to put it as the closer, but it comes in at number 7. Then your last one is called Hallow by All Means, and it's got Reagers on it. I do see why they put this one as the last track. It's real slow, almost funeral type doomy, and it's got a mishmash of it's kind of got a little bit of Candlemass, a little bit of St. Vitus, a little bit of Sabbath. And then the song it's the longest song on the album. It's like almost 9.5 minutes long. About the halfway mark, maybe even before, maybe even about the 4-minute mark, it just goes into an outro, which has Henry Vasquez all over the drum kit. It's just the same crushing riff with the drums going all over the place on it as it plays for the last 5.5 minutes going out. It's very reminiscent of For Whom the Bell Tolls, that outro, with the crunchy guitar and the drums. You even get some church bell come in, and then it fades out, and then the organ comes in, and so it's very epic sounding, and the church bell comes in again at the very end to finish off the song. Really good album. It's a solid 8 out of 10, easy. I mean, you love St. Vitus, you love Troll, you love the Skull, you're gonna love this. Legions of Doom, the Skull 3. You guys have a good one.